Good evening, welcome to this week's edition of Copper Load of Racing, previewing this weekend's racing action. Back after a couple of weeks off. First of all, I was suffering from tonsillitis a few weeks ago, which got the better of me, to be honest. Yeah, I've got over that now, and then I had a wee week's holiday in Kos there, just to get myself revitalised for the summer ahead. So raring to go and get stuck into the action, which is going to be plenty of action over the next couple of days. Kelso on Sunday, remember it is Ladies' Day, one of their big meetings of the season. I think actually it's the last meeting of their season. They have a break over the summer, of course. But there'll be plenty of people, I'm sure, going along to Kelso on Sunday. Tomorrow we have action at Haydock, York, Chester, Goodwood. Plenty of Cartmel has also got a card on. They start their season, and there's some evening action at Fosslas, and the other meeting escapes me. Salisbury, that's the other one. So we'll look at that in a moment. First of all, just want to speak about, I noticed in the news of late about some trouble at some of the racecourses over the past few weeks, being picked up in the mainstream news. The likes of, there was a mass brawl at Goodwood a couple of weeks ago, and also another brawl at the exit gates of Ascot the other week as well. Not great, obviously. These are big meetings, big Saturday meetings, but there has been a few people who have been raising concern about this recently. I think there's been trouble at Newbury as well over the past couple of years. And at some of the big evening meetings during the summer, some people have experienced some problems. Personally, I've not come across any real major issues when I've went to some of the bigger meetings. Because this is when it tends to happen. Over the summer, people are drinking a lot more during the daytime because of the weather, and obviously it's led to some people having far too much to drink and then getting into a bit of a trouble. Goodwood have been taking action. They're going to have much more of a police presence. Certainly tomorrow, I'm sure they'll have a large police presence there, just to more so bring some peace of mind to the racecourse who want to be there just to enjoy themselves, to take in the racing action and have a few drinks, yes, by all means, but they want to just have fun. Sadly, there is an element that seems to be going to racing now that wants to cause a bit of trouble after they've had a few beers or whatever it may be that they're drinking. I noticed something being said in some of the social media about, because it wasn't the Gordon enclosure at Goodwood, which I think is the second most expensive ticket at Goodwood on a weekend beating at one of their big meetings, and some were saying maybe they should raise the price to maybe put off that element from getting into the racecourse, which I kind of thought we'd got past all that in horse racing, this sort of class issue, as if it is an issue to do with class. I don't think that is at all. Some of the people that seem to be causing this trouble, because we've seen trouble at Royal Ascot as well, let's not forget, it's people that seem to have money in their pocket, and I don't know what class they are, but they are people that have got a bit of dough, and they are spending it on tickets and obviously in plenty of booze and probably maybe a bit more, and it's leading obviously to a bit of trouble. I think a larger police presence at these meetings would help. Coming from Scotland, we're a nation that likes a drink, we all know that, and I've been to plenty of meetings across the racecourses across Scotland. Some of them small meetings, some of them bigger meetings like the Gold Cup at Ayr, the Scottish Grand National meeting at Musselburgh, some of their big meetings at Hamilton's, big evening meetings, and I have to say I've never seen any bother, and there's plenty of people having a drink, there's plenty of people maybe having more drink than they should, but they're not causing any bother. Maybe I'm naive, maybe there has been problems and I've not witnessed it, probably the odd scuffle here and there, but nothing to the extent where it's caused a lot of problems. Why is that? Maybe it's just the nature of the people that are going, that they have no interest in that, and they just want to have fun, they want to have a good night or day out. And yeah, I think, as I say, the police presence thing would help. I think the only time I've really witnessed bother was at Cheltenham on Gold Cup Day a few years back, standing in the sales ring area, which they convert into a bar during the festival. And it was the usual, just one guy bumping into another, or looking at his girlfriend the wrong way or whatever. And he didn't take too kindly to that. There was no security, there was no police around. And it kind of kicked off in front of me and my dad, actually, and we just moved away from it. And you kind of just thought it was nearer the end of the day, and that's when if you've been drinking all morning into the afternoon, that's when the problems start. I don't think it's a problem, it's an issue of monitoring how much drink you have. I think some racecourses, like Cheltenham, take action on you can't go in certain places with your drink, you can't go out into the, in the sort of the bigger enclosures, you can't go in there to carry around your drink. But I've been in the best mate enclosure at Cheltenham, where you freely can walk around the betting ring and what have you and watch the race with a pint in your hand, and I've never seen any issues. So it's obviously a concern, but I think racecourses will be all looking at it over the next couple of weeks and hoping that there isn't any major problems, and if there is, they'll try and take the appropriate action, and look to try and combat anything that happens. But fingers crossed that it's not going to be an issue that continues. I think if it is, then the racecourses will need to start seriously thinking about how they do that. I think maybe some racecourses have been naive to the fact that, just freely keep buying drink. It is a sport, let's not forget. There's not a lot of other sports where you can walk in and drink as much as you like, literally. Take in the sport and the action. You can't do it at football. You can get a drink at rugby, I'm sure, but you're too busy watching the action without going back and forward to the bar. Racing is more the kind where you can watch the race. Between races, you can go to the bar and have a couple of more drinks, or you can get in 2 hours before the gate, before the first race, and start drinking then. So maybe that's something that they might look at. Some racecourses might decide that, we'll open the gates up early, but the bars won't open until half an hour before the first race, for example. Maybe that's what some racecourses might look to do if the problem continues. And I've been to golf, where you can drink quite a lot during the day, but again, said that I've never seen any issues there either. But must say, I'm actually at my father-in-law, my mother and father-in-law's house doing this, watching the dogs this weekend while they're away on holiday. So I'm not a golfer myself. I see these trophies in the background. These are my father-in-law's. He's pretty handy golfer, I have to say. The other issue that I want to just raise is British Horse Racing Authority have been making a big push this week on the under 18s going free to racing, which is a fantastic thing. It's been there for a long time, and it's a great initiative for families. Anyone under the age of 18 can get into a race course for free, and as long as they're accompanied with an adult, and you can enjoy the day. It's a great initiative. I took my son along to Ayr on Tuesday, and we had a fantastic day. Weather was brilliant, of course, which always helps, but he loves the racing, and loves watching it and going round at the parade ring and asking questions and looking at numbers, and it's good for actually he looks at all the numbers, he starts adding up, horse number 2 walks past and then horse number 5, he adds the two of them together, he looks at the silks and colours, always is asking me who the jockey is, and shouting their names sometimes, which is quite nice. But he loves it, and he's 4 years of age, and I was at that age, I was into horse racing, and my mum and dad took me to racing when I was young. So it's a great initiative. There's an advert, I think it's David Williams, and I can't remember the kid, I think Billy Jenkins is it, And it's a great wee advert, and it's good, and it's out there on social media, and it's just a reminder there, if any meeting, doesn't matter what it is, under 18s go free. So let's look at the race in action. As I say, big racing tomorrow at Haydock, their Temple Stakes meeting. It's a good meeting. I've been to that meeting actually a few years ago. The weather was brilliant, and the weather looks brilliant again tomorrow. So 3 tips for you. Well, 4 tips actually. But let's start off with the 2:15, the handicap. There, I think it's over 1.2 Is it 1.4 Anyway, the horse that I'm going to pick out is Jim Goldie's horse, Oaken Glen, who Jim's in decent enough form at the moment. He had a winner at Ayr on Wednesday, and Fintry Flyer I think it was. And Oaken Glen's one of his stable stars, I would say now. Won at the Shergar Cup meeting last season. Didn't have the greatest run last time out, but the ground is a big thing for this horse, and it's going to be nice and quick at Haydock tomorrow, and that will suit Oaken Glen, and I think he'll run well. Forgive him his last run, as I say, and he should come on well. He's running about 6-1 at the moment, and he should run well for your money. And the 3:25, the Sandy Lane Stakes. Richard Fahey's in blistering form at the moment, absolutely blistering form, and Sands of Mali looks a real good sort. I think he'll run well. Paul Hannigan takes a ride. Again, conditions should suit, and this horse looks progressive. Had a good 2-year-old campaign, and it looks to come back into this. Was this a horse that ran in France earlier in the season and won? I think it was, wasn't it? Sands of Mali. But yeah, good horse, and should be a decent sprinter for a 3-year-old sprinter. But I don't know if the Commonwealth Cup's going to be the target for this horse as well. Time will tell, but this may show them the way in that respect. But Sands of Mali in the 3:25. In the 4 o'clock, the Temple Stakes 5 furlong sprint, one of my favourite races of the season. Batash is all the rage. I think he's a shades odds on now, Batash. I love this horse, I really do, and I think it will run a blinder. But if you look for a bit of value in each way, pick Havana Grey. I've always had a little soft spot for this horse, and again I think conditions will favour this time. Didn't run great last time out, but I think again this, it's running against its elders. But I think it has a hell of a chance at an each way price. So Batash and Havana Grey in the 4 o'clock, the Temple Stakes. To Goodwood, pick one out there. Brian Mean's Spark Plug in that race. Unlucky last year in this race, should have won it actually, but didn't. And I think needed the run last time out and should come on for that, and I think will run well in the 1:55 at York, over at York, in their 5 furlong sprint, the 3:40. Dakota Gold had a great 2017 campaign, and shaped well last time out, and I think that will run a good big race in the 3:40. And finally, another horse I'll look at is in the 2:55 at Chester. Brian Ellison's Barrowies. He won at the May meeting earlier this season, the big May meeting that Chester have, and had it his way in that race, it has to be said. Won pretty well. Last time out, the race didn't suit, wasn't run to suit. So I think if all things map out well, Barrowies should run at a big race in that one. Alright, so that's the tips there for you for tomorrow. As I say, Kelso will have a meeting on Sunday, and then on Thursday, Hamilton Park have a Thursday afternoon meeting there, worth taking a trip along to if the weather hopefully stays nice right into next week. Next week we're going to be obviously heading towards the Derby, but there's also a big meeting at Musselburgh as well, and we'll preview that. Not any major thoughts on the classics at the moment. the Oaks or the Derby. I'll have a real good look at that this week and get back to you next week in next week's vlog. So if you're off racing tomorrow, have a great one. Or if over this weekend or this week, then have a great weekend. Have a great bank holiday weekend if you're off. And yeah, cop a load of racing.